So let's go ahead and begin. The first thing I'm going to do is lay my first bead of acrylic. Going to push, let the acrylic flow a little bit. Push, press, press down. Shape your free edge. Remember, we're going to stay around the 1 length for her. Press, press, press. Keep your free edges. And your sidewalls tucked in. And that is your first ball. So in school, what they teach you is kind of not practical all the time. So I like to teach my students to do what works best for them. In school, I believe they teach you to lay your ball, stress bead into the back of the cuticle, start there. But it's really just a preference. They also teach you to do 1, 2, 3, 4 balls, stress beads at a time. I do what works best for me and my client. So I have laid 3 beads. So once I'm finished with this nail, I'm going to allow it to dry, and I will pinch it once I'm finished with the next nail. The pinching process is you have a very small window of when you can do it. So once I get to that point, I will explain to you why it's important that you have to wait for a certain time to do it. Moving on to the next nail, I'm going to get my first bead. I like to lay my bead on the actual nail free edge for my first ball, just so that I have that attachment of the acrylic to the nail plate from the form. So it's kind of like gluing on a tip almost. Make sure that you're making it so that you don't have to do a whole lot of filing later on by making sure that your application is very smooth. Get very close to the cuticle and bring the acrylic out. Try not to get acrylic on your client's skin. This can cause lifting. You don't want any lifting. So now I'm going to make sure that you're looking at the client's nails from all angles so that you have a well-balanced nail. We do not want any wompy, out of shape nails. At this point, I'm going to pinch the nail that I just did. Once the acrylic, as you can see, it's shiny here and it's dull here. Once the acrylic has gotten dull, we can pinch the nail. The purpose in pinching the nail is to make the nail have a good C-curve in it. And what I mean by C-curve is here, the free edge of the nail. You want a nice C shape. This gives strength and durability to the nail. You do not want to pinch so hard that you cause your client discomfort. And make sure you ask your client, is that hurting? No. Okay. So we pinch right at the free edge, never on the skin. So this nail has been pinched. And we want to wait until this nail is completely dull to pinch it. I like to do two nails at a time and pinch in between. This is how we achieve that beautiful slim curve in the nail. You can also use your fingers if you do not have a pinching tool. You'll feel that the acrylic will get warm when it's setting. Once it's not warm anymore, you can't do any pinching. So now I'm going to move on to the next nail. Going to lay our first ball, let the acrylic flow, Bring in your side walls. One thing about sculptured nails is they never really look beautiful until you finish. So keep that in mind while you're working, that the filing and shaping process really helps with the final look. Going to lay my second ball, which is close to the cuticle. I like to use pink acrylic, opaque pink acrylic on my clients' nails. And this is a preference. Some people charge extra for it. In my shop, it's just what I like to use. Make sure that your brush is staying, has a nice amount of liquid in it so that you can get your nail nice and smooth. I'm going to move on to the next nail so that I can properly pinch that previous one. Make sure when doing acrylic sculptured nails that you are constantly cleaning your brush. You do not want to ruin a brush by leaving acrylic remnants in it. So try to keep your brush clean at all times. As you'll see, I wipe on a lint-free wipe very often in between each bead. I'm going to lay my second bead of acrylic, the cuticle. Again, be careful not to get acrylic on the skin. If you do, just make sure you remove it before it cures completely.